One of the things that kept popping up in my mind while I was watching this short film is that as thought provoking, as mind blowing, and as silly as this man was, this is the reality of so many women, so many marriages in Africa or in Nigeria. Hi guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. Today, guys, let's talk about what's left of us. What's left of us is the first part of the three-part Zikoko life anthology, which is currently showing on Zikoko channel right here on YouTube. This short film follows the life of a couple named Mariam and Aliyu. Aliyu is that typical African man, if I do say so myself. He's that philandry man who believes that he can eat his cake and have it back. He wants entire wifely duties from his wife, but still goes around flocking with other women. He has the whole relationship outside of the marriage, but expects the wife to still keep on giving him wifely duties. He does nothing to help around the house. And the gag of it all is that this man wants more children. He wants a lot of children and he wants it from his wife. While the wife, on the other hand, Mariam, has been using contraceptive, which has been blocking the trying that Aliyu thinks they are trying to have more children. And this is when the whole drama unfolds. Because when Aliyu finds out that Mariam has been using contraceptive, he gets really angry and even throws her out of the house in the middle of the night. Imagine how crazy that is, throwing your wife out of the house because you were angry. And that's why I said this man is a typical African man, because these men are very egoistic, they are very self-centered, very selfish, they don't bother to understand what the problem is, but they want what they want. So it's either their way or the highway. One of the most annoying things for me about Ali is the fact that he just sits around doing nothing. He believes he's working his ass off to provide for the family, and that's just okay. While the wife Mariam, she's a full-time housewife. She does everything, overwhelmed with taking care of children, and he'll still come back and want to still be intimate, and worst of all, he still wants her to give him more children. The most annoying part for me is that this man has a whole relationship out of the marriage, and this man is very, very selfish. Like, this movie really shows you how selfish and self-centered a lot of men are. Like, this man, it's just either the way or no way at all. Because tell me why a man, you do not want to use any form of protection during sexual relations. You want to enjoy sexual relations without any form of disturbance or any form of covering or whatever they call it, and then you expect the woman to be the one to bear the brunt of hormonal changes, mood swings, and all the side effects that comes with using a contraceptive. Why can't you, a man, why can't you also get contraceptive? And also, why are there no contraceptive for men to even start with? Or get a vasectomy if you want it that bad and you don't want to use protection, or use a protection. Why are you being so selfish? Like, this movie just opened your eyes to a lot of things, that a lot of these men are just entirely selfish, and it was crazy. And the fact that a lot of things are expected of women, and almost something is expected of a man as a woman, from when you're like your teens, you're already being groomed into becoming that submissive, that perfect wife for your husband, that wife that honors her husband, who does nothing to question a man. It's just being yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. Which is not even a problem being a submissive wife, but you should be able to also stand your ground and communicate as your wife. And this movie opened your eyes to thinking or wondering, did these people even have any form of talking stage? Was there any form of conversation before they got married? Because this conversation about children should have been had even before the marriage. But the gag of it is that sometimes people even have this conversation and they're like, okay, we're going to have 4 kids. And then the woman gets into that childbearing phase and she realizes that she can't do more than just two, because her body is tired and she doesn't want more than just 2 kids. And she's just tired of the whole model thing. And even the 2 kids are already too much of a burden for her. But the man just feels like if it's not his way, it's the highway. One of the things I loved about this movie is the scenery. You see this that view there, I loved it so much. I love the angles, I love the scenery, I love the nature that was brought into it, and even the color. But let's not digress from what we're talking about. And what I am saying is that I think a major part of this movie was conversation. Mariam is an educated woman. She has a degree. She could get a job for herself, and which means she could be bold enough to speak for herself. But she was not speaking. She wasn't saying anything, which was the only problem I had with her. Because I felt like it was also quite dubious that your husband thought you guys were trying to have kids, but you, on the other hand, have been using contraceptives to block the children. And I loved this scene so much. I loved how educational this scene was, because he talked about birth control, family planning, and the ways which you can, the things that you can do to actually do family planning, or the family planning ways, different types or different perspective or whatever to it. But that's it, talked about it. And the fact that men will just feel like they have the right to be whatever. This thing where they went to meet a certain leader or a certain knowledgeable man of the society. This man was basically just talking about all the things that favored Aliyu and nothing about Mariam, telling her, oh, her husband can go around to court for marriage. But him having an affair, having an extramarital affair, does that cut as courting? Is that the same thing as trying to get married to a person? You're just literally sleeping around, which was the gag of this entire thing, because it just shows you that a lot of times women are the risk. women are the receiving end of a lot of things, and it was really, really annoying. And the fact that this thing right here, he had the nerve to say he forgave her. You forgive her for what? For choosing herself, for trying to protect herself, for trying to want more out of life, for trying to tell you that she doesn't just want to be a baby farm. I mean, it's not even a big deal if she wants to have more kids. It's That's what I'm saying, that why was this not even discussed before marriage? You could say it was an arranged marriage, but even at that, some of these things should have been discussed. But truly, if it were an arranged marriage where the wife did not even exactly have so much say, what then can she say in the marriage? And some other times people get carried away by all the butterflies, which I don't even think is really happening nowadays, because children, number of children, and all of those things are things that you must discuss before marriage. This movie just sheds more light on that you have to open your mouth. And even when you get married and things have changed, you don't want as many children as you said you wanted before. Open your mouth and still say it. Don't be quiet, because it seems like Mariam was not entirely honest. Her husband, yes, he's a philanderer man, he's a silly man, he's an annoying man, but she was also not being entirely honest. She wasn't letting him know that she didn't want more children. Rather, she kept on using contraceptives. And I love the fact that at the end of the day, she chose herself, because as a woman, you must be able to choose yourself, which also brings us to the fact that as a woman, you need to have something to yourself. Because when Ali threw Miriam out of the house, she had nothing. She did not have a home, she did not have a job, she did not even have money, because she was reliant on him entirely. It's not even a bad idea to be a housewife. Perfect if you find a man that wants to be a housewife, that wants to provide for you entirely. Please, my darling, take it, because women say, I'll take it. But as we are being housewives, let's still try our best to keep money, save money, invest, have a petty business on the side. Just have something of your own, because it just gives you that peace of mind, that confidence, that glow as a woman. You should want more out of life than just being a wife or a mother. That those are very huge achievements. I'm not even going to water it down, because I am also looking to forward to being a wife and a mother. But most especially, let's also choose ourselves and have something doing. I love the fact that Mariam chose herself, and I loved how straightforward this movie was. It was just about 30 minutes, but it had a very strong message, straight to the point, no beating around the bush. Like I said, the scenery of this movie, the coloring, the acting, the cinematography, the angles, they were really, really beautiful. You guys, if you haven't seen What's Left of Us, it's currently showing right here on YouTube, on Zikoko channel, right here on YouTube. You better go see it, especially as a woman. Go and watch it. And you guys, I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts, drop your comment, drop your opinions, and I'll catch you in the next video, guys. Bye.